Hello friends, I am Kunal Uday Shinde, working as Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department of Sandeep Institute of Engineering and Management, Nasik. This video has been made as a part of an activity under an international FDP on environment and sustainability. In this video, we are going to discuss about the carbon footprint and ISO standards. These are the details of video that has been made under week 1. So in week 1 video, we have discussed how our choices will impact resource consumption throughout the supply chain and make decisions that minimize the impact. As we design, we have to consider what energy and resources our design will require and integrate a thoughtfulness towards that in what we design. In order to achieve sustainability development goals, mechanical engineers need to develop mechanical systems that will help in reaping all the natural resources and reduce carbon emission. Now we will discuss about the carbon footprint. So what is this carbon footprint? A carbon footprint can be defined as the total greenhouse gas emission caused by an individual, event, organization or product expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. Greenhouse gases, including the carbon containing gases, carbon dioxide and methane, can be emitted through the burning of fossil fuels, land clearance, and the production and consumption of food, manufactured goods, materials, wood, roads, buildings, transportation, and other services. This carbon footprint can be measured as tons of carbon dioxide emitted per year. There are basically 8 ways to reduce this carbon footprint. Firstly, monitoring energy usage, reduce usage, reduce water usage, reward the green commute, review logistics, switch to green energy, recycle, and reduce packaging. Then, if we want to reduce the carbon footprint, we have to focus on the low carbon product design. Why we have to go for low carbon product design? Because in the last video we have already discussed that design does not have a direct impact on the environment, but it has the indirect impact on the environment, because we know that design is going to affect the manufacturing, and manufacturing in turn is going to affect the environment. So we have to focus on the good design, so that we will have the better product which is going to consume less amount of resources and energy, leading to the reduction in the greenhouse gas emission. So the major step include setting up establishment of the greenhouse gas emission target, establishment of BOM structure, that is the bill of material structure, formation of GBOM, that is greenhouse gas bomb, estimation of the greenhouse gas emissions of the product, identification of problematic parts, selection of alternative parts, and evaluation of the greenhouse gas emission of the newly designed product. The low carbon product design system allows quick calculation of the greenhouse gas emission of a product. Thus, a designer can easily and quickly evaluate alternative parts for the design of a low carbon product. So here we can see that if the product is designed, but after design it is going to emit more greenhouse gas emissions, then we can quickly remove, or we can have the alternative design for the product. A low carbon product design can be simple and easy to apply in the evaluation of alternative design solutions, thus making low carbon product design possible during the embodiment design stage. The low carbon product design is divided into 4 categories, that is structure optimization design, principle optimization design, function optimization design, and process optimization design. Then we will see what is ISO. ISO is nothing but it is an international organization for standardization which gives the various certifications to the industry, which is an international standard setting body composed of representatives from various national standards organizations. So here I have mentioned some types of ISO standards. So first one is ISO 9000, which focus on the quality management. Second, ISO or IEC 27000, which focus on information security management systems. Third one is ISO 14001, which focus on environmental management. Fourth one is ISO 31000 2018, which focus on the risk management. Fifth one, ISO 50001 2018, which focus on energy management. Sixth one, ISO 26000 2010, which focus on social responsibility. ISO 28000 2007, which focus on specifications for security management systems for the supply chain. Eighth one, ISO 37001 2016, which focus on anti-bribery management systems. ISO 45001, which focus on occupational health and safety. And lastly, ISO 22000, which focus on management systems. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about the two ISO standards, that is ISO 14001 and ISO 50001. So ISO 14001 2015, which focus on environmental management. This ISO 14001 2015 specifies the requirement for an environmental management system that an organization can use to enhance its environmental performance. It helps an organization to achieve the intended outcomes of its environmental management system, which provide value for the environment, the organization itself, and interested parties. It is applicable to any organization regardless of size, type, and nature, and applies to the environmental aspect of its activities, products, and services that the organization determines it can either control or influence considering a life cycle perspective. After the implementation of ISO 14001 2015 in an industry, it has a certain outcomes. Those are mentioned over here. After the implementation of this ISO 14001, there will be improvement in the environmental performance, reputation and relationship with stakeholders, organizational efficiency, environmental management practices, environmental awareness. So how environmental performance of a company is going to improve? So after ISO certification, it will lead to reduced air emissions, seawater discharge, and reduced greenhouse gases. In case of reputation and relationship with stakeholders, after ISO certification, increase the brand value of the company. It is going to increase the brand value of the company, increase customer satisfaction, and improve relationship with regulators. For organizational efficiency, this EMS certification will decrease the cost of waste disposal and help reducing manufacturing costs. For environmental management practices, after ISO certification, it is going to help us in making sure that there is a sustainability angle in all the activities performed by the employees throughout the organization. About environmental awareness, after implementation of ISO 14001 certification, it is going to increase awareness of environmental issues within the company and the community, because our community outreach programs build a good relationship with the community and promote environmentally sound goals. Then ISO 50001 2018, which focus on energy management. This ISO 50001 2018 provides guidance for companies in implementing an energy management system that aims at improving efficiency in the use of energy. This standard aims to reduce an organization's energy footprint by minimizing greenhouse gas emission. ISO 50001 provides a framework of requirements for organizations to develop a policy for more efficient use of energy. Fix targets and objectives to meet the policy. Use data to better understand and make decisions about energy use. Measure the results. Review how well the policy works and continually improve energy management. This makes it easier for organizations to integrate energy management into their overall efforts to improve quality and environmental management. So how these ISO standards are used in design? So ISO standards are useful in designing a mechanical design because due to standardization, different manufacturers producing a particular part of any machine can be used interchangeably. ISO 50001 helps us in considering what energy and resources our design will require and integrate a thoughtfulness towards that in what we design. ISO 14001 helps in designing the component or machine which after manufacturing is going to reduce the greenhouse gas emission using minimum resources leading to reduction in waste disposal. And lastly, ISO 9001 helps in maintaining the quality of the product and services and consistently meet the customer requirement. So in order to reduce the greenhouse gas emission in case of designing, we have to focus on these ISO standards, that is 50001 and 14001, also 9001, so that it is going to help in reducing the carbon footprint leading to the reduction in the greenhouse gas emission. Thank you.